Hannah Cameron, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thanks for having me.
So, how are you feeling in this period of isolation?
Yeah, it's a pretty weird time. I live by myself. Well, my housemate is isolating in Castlemaine, so I'm by myself at the moment. So yeah, it's been good and bad. I've had a chance to do some practice and some writing, but yeah, it's a pretty strange time.
A lot of people say that it's good for artists to have time to write and create, make an album or whatever. But that's all very well if you're feeling creative. But in a period like this where it's a little bit stressful, are your creative juices still flowing?
I think some days more than others.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sort of just establish a bit of a routine, do some practice and sort of work on technical things that I don't usually get a chance to work on, like on the guitar and even vocally. But I think for the first couple of weeks that I was in isolation, I was going pretty hard on the guitar practice and the writing, and then I kind of just got to a point where I realized that I also just need to be able to have a bit of a break.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It is easy to just put all this pressure on yourself to be like, oh, well, I've got all this time. This is what we always want is to have time to be creative, but it's not normal. It's not like a normal time that we're having right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what did you have planned for 2020? What did you have to put aside?
I've been pretty lucky in that I didn't have shows booked yet. And so I feel like I've been, I've come out of this really relatively unscathed compared to a lot of my friends. I was planning to do a lot of recording, and that's probably taking a bit of a back seat or going to be pushed back a bit. But if this had happened last year, it would have been a very different story, because I went on tour with another band last year. So I was away last year for probably four months of the year. So yeah, I'm just feeling pretty lucky that I got to do that at this point. So for the rest of the year, I guess, depending on how things go, I'll put out some more music once it's been recorded. But yeah, I haven't been too badly affected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite all that, you've put out a new single last Friday called Backsliding, which I believe came out of a session last year where you dedicated a month to a song a day.
It was actually a week, but yeah.
A week.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking of doing another one of those weeks at some point during this time.
And was it a productive week?
It was. It's every time that I just make the decision to do one of those weeks, it generally is quite fruitful. I think it's just something about writing a song every day takes a bit of the pressure off the songs having to be good, because you're going to write another one tomorrow. So I think I got about 3 or 4 songs out of that I'll probably end up using, but Backsliding I actually wrote on the first day. I feel like on the first day you usually expect it to not you feel like you've got the rest of the week, so there's less pressure, but somehow that was probably my favorite one to come out of it.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the song. What's it about?
I guess it was sort of written during a time when I felt like I was ending up in the same situation over and over again, and sort of realizing that it was a choice that I was making, and that I could stop making that choice or make a different choice. And so yeah, it was kind of a bit of a song to myself, to be accountable and to take responsibility for my actions and practice what I preach as well. Yeah, it's many things, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
So in general, what's the starting point for a Hannah Cameron song?
There's a few ways that I'll go about it. I like to start with some sort of limitation or an idea in musically of how I'll, like a starting point for a song. so for that one, it was just like I picked up the baritone guitar, which I hadn't really done before to write on. But yeah, I like going in with some sort of restriction or some limitation so that there's just a clear starting point. So it might be a rhythm, or it might be a set of chords, or a little melody. But yeah, having some little restriction is nice.
Let's talk about the tools that you use to create your music. In the photos I've seen, you've got quite a few different guitars there. I think there was a sparkle Gretsch.
Yeah, so that's the baritone guitar, which is actually I'm lucky that I am borrowing some of those guitars. One day I'll have to return them. So yeah, I've got the Gretsch baritone guitar, which is really nice, and then I've got a Maton electric guitar, which I also have on loan. And then I have a nylon string guitar, which I got for my 21st birthday. And then probably my most prized possession is my little Martin parlor guitar it's like a 1967, it's called a New Yorker. It's like this little guy that's sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah. So how do you document your ideas? Is it just into the iPhone, or do you have something a little more elaborate than that?
I definitely have a lot of voice memos on my iPhone. It's a bit out of control at the moment. That was like one of my isolation activities was going to be to go through them and just see what would actually need to be held onto. But I also demo things into Logic on my laptop. I've got I don't know if you can see that. I've got one of these SM7B mics, which is quite useful, and just a little interface. And that's my setup at the moment. It's pretty basic.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that aspect of it, the cutting and pasting of audio files?
Yeah, I really like demoing things, and sort of it starts feeling a bit like a puzzle at that point in time. You know, like if a song is not totally coming together in my mind, just playing it on the guitar, then often if I start putting it down into Logic usually when I'm putting it down in Logic, I'll start thinking of it more like a problem solving exercise of like, how can I make the chorus, you know, move on to the bridge, or, you know, whatever it is. Yeah.
You took part in the very first Isolate Festival, the Instagram Music Festival. How was that experience for you?
It was really nice. That was I think I'd been isolating at that point for 1 week, and I was already starting to feel it. So it was really nice to feel like connected to people in that way, and that's what I've been feeling just watching it every weekend since. Is just kind of does feel like you're at a gig, and it feels like you're at a gig where you're allowed to talk through all the acts, because you're just like messaging all your friends as you're listening. But yeah, I think it's a really amazing thing that Rhiannon and Emily and Shannon have done, putting that together. It's such an amazing idea, and also just like being able to help raise money and awareness for support act is amazing as well.
Did you find that you picked up more social media followers through that?
Yeah, quite a lot, which was a really nice, unexpected little bonus. And a bunch of people bought albums, which was lovely. But yeah, it's definitely an amazing way that they've found to introduce people to new music and direct them straight to the social media side of things. It's very cool.
Yeah. Apart from your own music, you collaborate with a lot of other artists. You're in other bands. How important is that to your own music?
Super, super important. I think like so much of what I have learned musically in the past, I don't know, 8 years, however long I've been playing with a bunch of these people, has come from working with them and just ingesting their influences and being forced into uncomfortable places. Like in On Diamond, I had never really played the electric guitar before being in that band, and I definitely had never played anything remotely like loud. No loud guitar before that. I thought I didn't like it, and then playing in that band, you know, I became very well acquainted with an overdrive pedal and started to get a feel for what I wanted my electric guitar sound to be. And then Lisa would say, I want you to play this line on the guitar, and I couldn't do it, and so I had to learn. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just one example, but I think from every different musician, I've learned something or probably stolen something at various points. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the albums you're involved with is the Lost Horse Saloon album.
Yeah.
Which is out this week, I think.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that project.
That is something that James Gilligan, who produced my first two albums, put that together. It's basically just all of our best mates got in a room and played each other's songs. I think we rehearsed for a week maybe before that, and we recorded it at Sound Park. And I can't remember how many songs I sing on, but I got to sing on a bunch of them, and they're just I mean, every musician and human involved in that are just some of my absolute favorites in the world. And so musically it's really diverse, but somehow I think because we all came up through, whether it was study or just going to gigs together, we all really understand each other's musical languages in quite an intuitive way, I think. And so, yeah, I mean, I actually hadn't heard it until this morning when I was listening to it. Like, I hadn't heard the final mix. So, I had quite an emotional morning listening this morning.
Yeah. So, do you actually have a revised plan now for 2020?
Not yet. I'm still figuring it out. I guess, like, once this is all over, I'd like to play some launch shows for Backsliding, which was going to happen in June was the plan. But, we'll wait and see as this evolves as to, like, when live shows can start happening. But I think, I'll definitely be recording some more songs towards the end of the year, and hoping that my plan has always been to put out in my next album next year. So I think that can still happen, hopefully. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most when this is all over?
Just a couple of hugs. A lot of hugs. Like, way more than a couple of hugs. I'm just going to go find all of my friends and squeeze them. And I'm really looking forward to playing music with other people. I think you don't realize how much you need it and you love it until you don't do it for, I mean, it's been a month now that I haven't played music with anyone, and it feels really weird. I'm looking forward to that.
And the best place for people to hear your music or buy your music?
Bandcamp is probably the best place if you want to buy the music. Otherwise, I'm on Spotify and SoundCloud and all the usual places. Yeah.
Right, Hannah Cameron, thanks for your time.
Thanks for chatting. It's lovely to meet you properly.